So-called sanctuary cities like New York, Los Angeles, and Boston generally protect nonviolent immigrants from deportation and are often targeted by President Trump, who said last year that he would support sending undocumented immigrants to such places to, quote, see if they have open arms. While he hasn't yet done that, his words did conjure up echoes from the early 1960s, when at the height of the civil rights movement, Southern segregationists gave African American residents one-way bus tickets to communities in the North. Gabrielle Emanuel has the nearly forgotten story of the reverse Freedom Riders.
This is me and my mom.
Betty Williams was 18, the second oldest of 13 kids, when Southern segregationists sent her family north with false promises of jobs, housing, a better life. It was 1962, and her mother was dressed to meet President Kennedy.
She was actually told that the Kennedy was going to meet her wherever she was dropped off in Hyannis. She was thinking that they was going to be there.
3 days after leaving Little Rock, Arkansas, their Greyhound bus arrived in Hyannis, not far from the Kennedy family's summer compound. President Kennedy was not there to meet the bus, but Margaret Mosley was.
Most of the people who came had only a shopping bag with perhaps one change of clothing, no money, knowing nobody. It was one of the most inhuman things that I have ever seen.
A longtime civil rights activist, Mosley knew that the people on board, the so-called reverse Freedom Rides, were pawns in a segregationist game.
The Northern Liberals and the NAACP, Urban League, and people like that especially, they have been crying the sing-song in behalf of the Negroes throughout the nation. And of course, now when it comes time for them to put up or shut up, they have shut up.
About 200 African Americans were given one-way bus tickets north. Nearly half of them ended up in Hyannis. They were housed for a time at Otis Air Force Base.
As I drove one family up one evening, the young son in the family asked me, "Where are the cotton fields?" I said, "We have no cotton fields here." He said, "Well, what am I going to do to find employment? I can chop cotton. I don't know how to do anything else."
We didn't really have anything. We just had our clothing. We didn't have furniture and stuff like that we can bring here.
Like many of those sent to Hyannis, the Williams family ultimately moved to Boston in search of work. Things they'd never experienced before started to define their lives. Drugs, jail, neighbors who didn't know or care about them. And then there were things they were familiar with: racism. In Boston, some of the Williams children experienced the worst of school busing.
But the people from Arkansas that sent us from the south to the north, I have no anger in my heart against them. I don't want no hatred to live in my heart nowhere. I don't have no room for that. So I just keep moving forward.
Shaped by history, her family's and the country's.